in the game. Hero back in with 3 fouls.
We just showed a picture before we started talking of you and Trey when you cut down the nets after the 2015 National Championship. What do you remember about that night, and then also sharing it with your family?
That night is...
As you said, one shot every time down the floor for Mississippi State.
It's a balanced Kentucky team in terms of perimeter play, inside play. They have depth at every position on the floor. It makes practice very competitive, Carl. Yeah. That's always big when you can have practice be extremely competitive. Wide open.
Set play. Hero buries another one. 2 for 2. Season, if not saving, those are what you're now playing for.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a, you know, every game's a one-game season in the eyes of a head coach. And I love this Neesmith kid. I think he's got the character, the toughness, the work ethic, the talent to be a terrific building piece for Bryce Drew. His program going forward.
Tyler Hero, what a shot.
Pick and roll play well at all. 2 men covering the basketball. Easy bucket for Mont.
E.J. Washington, little high-low action. Reed Travis, nice footwork. 49-46. Saturday, Seton Hall lost to the other Kentucky team, Louisville. Inside, Reed Travis pulls his way to the basket and lays it in.
Both teams are going to get the ball inside, not only by throwing it, but by driving the ball into the middle, getting the ball into the paint.
And you see a veteran move by Dockich. Like me and Billis, we all made sure to neither wear a red nor a blue tie today. We're all neutral. Tied at 5, just over 2 minutes in, and the left-handed.
Tough twos, make him dribble it and finish inside of that three-point line.
I was talking to Rick Bozich about McMahon. They say he's making absolutely everything in practice. Can't miss.
He did not miss yesterday in practice. It was really impressive to watch.
He's only missed 2 free throws the whole season, 31 out of 33.
Well, good patience by Kentucky to get the ball inside on the opposite side of the floor. He's not a starter, but that Alabama has been able to drive it. Tevin Mack did a little bit earlier. Herbert Jones right off the inbound. And you can see the difference in the ease of getting to the rim and finishing when Nick Richards is not in the ball game, and how difficult it was for Alabama when he was.
Is going to bump and grind, not give you anything easy, play in the half court, and Kentucky would be the one looking to get up and down. But both of these squads are built differently. South Carolina 35th in adjusted tempo.
He is a tough out. Number of ways he can beat you.
Johnson, the leading scorer for the Heels at just under 17 a game.
See if they go to Reed on a little. Loves to lock low, power around the rim.
Keldon Johnson, baseline drive, has to get it back on front to Hero for 3.
Boy, he makes that. He's getting.
Sets up his man, spins past him, and it's almost like there's nothing you can do about it. You can sit and talk about, well, you know, he's not the best athlete. He's quicker than the guys guarding him because he knows how to play.
How about a first half double-double for Dedrick Law?
Kentucky's the best team in the nation, and they have, you know, the best freshman in the nation, and Reed Travis the most impact. I think there's a lot of noise for them to work through.
Got 68 points from bench players. That was the most since the turn of the century. Here's Tyler Hero.
Hey, this is only the 5th game for this very, very young team. Hagans, Johnson, Travis, Washington, Green on the floor for Kentucky. Reed Travis has been a menace down low. They find him. Washington up and under.
And now players got to get loosened up. It was almost like a full halftime we just had. It's a period in hockey, right? First period ended, now we'll play another one.
Good. At least next time we have this Bring Red Panda out and entertain us. Keldon Johnson off the glass.
Yeah, A&M has been from Georgia.
That was the first miss in transition for Kentucky on that last attempt. Georgia, I like them out and running right now in this ball game because their half-court offense. Kentucky dialed in now, not letting that ball get reversed side to side and keeping the bigs of Georgia from driving it. And they are a downhill driving team with their bigs.
Washington.
Watch out. Oh.
Landscape to what you just said. Well, yes. If I'm Kentucky, I'm throwing it inside here. I'm gonna play out of.
Throw Richards.
I would throw it to Richards. He just had a nice game. 14. See if he's going. And a little bit of a zone here. Nope, man to man. I'm going to Washington. I'm getting this on the block. I'm settling things down.
Washington vying for position, can't get it. Instead, Hero.
Duke. That's just a monster matchup, and Duke without their point guard that's a huge loss.
They're your fighters.
I like Dillashaw on the right only because I can say his name.
Kentucky is making Francis Alonso work.
Yeah, they've gotten after him this second half. You're exactly right. Because he had 19 in the first half, and he only has 3 right now in the second half.
Hero, baseline, got it.
Who had 0 points at the half, now up to 9. Kentucky needs to stay aggressive. You don't want turnovers right now. Georgia doesn't force a lot of turnovers with their defense. So Kentucky should be able to get that ball side to side for open looks, just like.
He's a big-bodied freshman going against a big-bodied post-grad senior, and Reed Travis bumped him off his spot, made a left-handed hook.
Tyler Hero goes baseline and gets all the way to the backboard.
With Bucci and Anderson, they'll have all the highlights from the first day of Bowl Mania, plus Texans Jets and Broncos Browns postgame coverage. And LeBron and the Lakers take on the Hornets in front of his Aaron Sports Center after college football on ESPN and the ESPN half. Did you see MJ the other day?
Slap Malik,
Malik
right?
Monk in the back of the head.
Yeah.
What do you think? That was as parental a head slap.
Beautiful cut there by Lewis, and a terrific feed from Herbert Jones.
Boy, Lewis just got that little rub screen up top, and if you don't jump to the ball and take away the ball side of the cut, it's awfully difficult to defend.
Lewis, a guy, as Travis, nice.
You can't throw the ball out of bounds just trying to initiate offense. Possessions are going to be way too valuable in this game.
South Carolina runs with a little bit more tempo than you might remember. Here's Keldon Johnson.
So much better than he did a week ago against TCU, and they were throwing the ball all over, couldn't get a bucket.
Boy, it gets real loud in here. Johnson feathering for 2.
Yeah, that was
Interesting matchups at this end of the floor as well. Wara on P.J. Washington. Keldon Johnson gets free, and he rattles.
It has been assisted. I mean, the ball's moving on both ends of the floor. One thing that Alabama needs to do, they've got to do a better job of keeping the ball out of the paint, not allowing any straight line drives. Because right now they're not really contesting passes.
Johnson off a screen.
They're going to keep shooting them, I guess, statistically. They're going to start going your way a little bit if you keep letting them fly. John Calipari said we may see 43s this afternoon.
Auburn was 1 for 10 before that one went down from Malik Bumba. Keldon Johnson, pretty drive to the rim.
He's a good.
Still kind of limping back to the Kentucky bench. We'll see if he comes back in or not this half.
Well, with his speed, that's a big factor.
Right. Hero on the outside. Lobs underneath to P.J. Washington.
And that's that sneaker pick. That I would jump his left, but he is great with that little cross and finish.
So an eye on that point guard matchup with Ashton Hagans, who has been terrific, especially defensively, and Lamar Peters, the junior, who's coming off a rough game in the overtime loss here at LSU. Washington off a feed from
Kentucky, and he was lost in 13 and 13 for Kansas. See if Kentucky can get Hero a little bit more involved in the offense. He is 2 for 8 tonight, 6 points.
And also continue to pound the ball inside. Let Reed Travis touch it. P.J. Washington.
Travis a touch.
Give it back to him. There it is.
No double team. And he scores.
Johnson got it. It is remarkable how many loose balls Dotson gets.
Washington surrounded, and he finds Travis.
And he's keeping Seton Hall in this one.
Keldon Johnson. Baseline, P.J. Washington. Jump hook.
You've listened to me a few times. 40 years, I guess. Wow. This kid wants the ball, man. He wants the ball. He's got that swag about him. There's that screen up high. Got to get over the top of that screen.
Higgins penetrates. He had 6 assists in the first half, and he gets that little jumper.
First foul on the senior Sean Lloyd. 14 fouls each way. Hero has been quiet.
Washington's got to keep working. When they take it away, there you go. That's it.
That almost.
He again squares the body. It's so important. So many kids are off balance when they shoot.
With that three, Carter goes over 10 points. He's got 11. They're 22-2 when he gets 10 or more.
You're right on top of it, Mr. Ravage. Right on top of it.
Washington jump hook.
Are you kidding me? Are you serious? And he averages over.
You're Lutheran. Quickly.
Double team. Washington. Nice pass out of it. Quickly. Not ready. 10 to shoot. Quickly. Sets his feet. And Hero.
By the 6-foot Isaiah Miller. Is a huge Valentine by Massey. To me, that was kind of a must-get. Because if Kentucky gets that ball and comes down and works the clock right now, UNCG's running out of time.
Keldon Johnson working inside. Here's P.J. Washington. Behind the back and off.
5 scores at Mississippi State. Starkville. John Calipari's been really concerned with their starts. They started fairly well, though, against Auburn. But bottom line is they've struggled starting games.
Hero, good fake. He fires away. Bottom of the net for Tyler Hero.
A little spice to his game.
The Texas game, he went off for 33, including 7 threes. So he is a scorer, and he puts his mind to it.
When you go off in Vegas, you are rolling them.
Johnson for 3. Got it.
There you go, stretch.
You are going to give up a bucket. They not only gave up a bucket, but a foul as well.
Dante Hall had a good game last year at Rupp Arena, although a game won by Kentucky. A look at the starting 5 for the Wildcats. Tyler Hero coming off the big game, a season-high 24 against Louisville last week.
Dejon Ingram guarding Tyler Hero. Hero had a great game against Louisville, not just offensively, but his defense was fantastic in that game.
This is a big boy matchup. And then he knocks down another one. 20 first-half points for Tevin Mack.
Well, job number 1 has to be to find Tevin Mack in transition no matter what happens on the other end. He's beyond hot.
Hero.
Very unselfish.
Big Blue Nation trying to rally their team. The lead down to 7.
Big Blue Nation be kind of quiet here tonight.
When Derry Weatherspoon may have taken an elbow to the face, and we're going to get a timeout.
Nembhard finishes. Miss switch. Nembhard slipped it.
A double-figure game in his career for Nembhard. Higgins with a challenge.
And is a clutch basketball player. You know, we saw Kansas play Tennessee in Brooklyn at the end of November. When he went into the stanchion and got up, made those 2 huge free throws, and wound up with 17 points in that game. He was just magnificent.
A statue out front. I saw that statue.
Well, listen, it was so nice of Auburn to give me a statue. It was really cool. I told him the only one thing about it, I wanted my statue to be skinny.
Higgins. Hero comes it down. Higgins with the step. And one. Up into the front court. Ashton Higgins. Johnson elevates inside.
Johnson knocked it off his leg. Higgins has become a defensive specialist for John Calipari. He derives great confidence in that. And Nick Richards with the finish.
Vic gets the first look of the second half, but misses the three.
And a challenge one. Tyler Hero right on top of him. It was a catch and shoot, but a challenge one. Can't play better defense when the shot is put up.
Travis, some big moments on the offensive glass in the first half for Kentucky. Now Washington puts it on the deck. Got a size advantage on Dotson.
13 turnovers. And a gain for Vanderbilt. Jamal Baker. PJ's worked on his three-point shot. He buries that. What?
I'll tell you, Dockich is earning his money today, isn't he? 5-point lead, Kentucky. Again, their first true road game of the season. The Wildcats have won 9 of their last 11 against the Cardinals. Johnson with a floater. How good?
By Georgia, a naked pick and roll in the middle of the floor to take away any help around the rim.
PJ Washington.
How many times did we hear Tom Crean today say, if we don't hit first, we're going to lose the game? They did not hit first on the last possession in terms of getting the ball off the glass.
Handful here. Travis, he gets that.
Unique team. I know they're going to make some threes, but they are a downhill driving team from the 3, the 4, and the 5 spot. Not easy to match up with.
PJ Washington, nothing.
Didn't do it.
And a fun environment here in Tuscaloosa, in spite of the fact that class is not yet back in session. And obviously, there's a football game on the mind. So
for a 19-year-old kid from Charlotte, North Carolina, born in Chicago, played with Grant Williams of Tennessee, the National Player of the Year candidate. Played at Providence Day High School, played with Williams in AAU ball. It's a heck of a tandem in high school.
How about that game Williams had on Tuesday? Has tweeted about it. The WNBA has come to the defense of Maori Davenport.
Every thinking person and organization is against this ruling made by the Alabama High School Athletic.
By the time I hit halftime, I was back at ground zero. He never realized how much when his body got cold, that's how he would overthink.
For Mississippi State.
Hallelujah.
First time they've gone an opening half without making a 3 since November of last year. Washington off the bounce and gets to the rim.
He can be anonymous. Proper placement for sure.
If that were you and I wouldn't tell you that it was spelled wrong until we were already halfway to hazard and almost home. Here's Washington.
Look at this guy. Outstanding player in the Pac-12.
Washington inside the floor.
PJ Washington's made 2 of them tonight. Here's Brown. And Billy Brown's off the mark.
Hero got away with about 3 steps, traveling up front. Might have been distracted by the call from the bench. PJ Washington rolls one.
Hey, Bill.
Mississippi State, I just like this team. They played LSU great here the other night. They are a solid team. Some bad judgments occasionally late and some missed free throws have hurt them. Nice ball movement.
Montgomery finally dropped for E.J. Montgomery.
But Neesmith, for a muscled up freshman, just shoots a really good ball. You know, he works his tail off every day. He's a really good building piece going forward.
PJ Washington fires another 3.
Capture some points.
16th turnover of the night for South Carolina. You see Frank Martin, and we're guilty of this. We show it a lot when he gets
Animated.
Animated, yeah. But he's a teacher by trade. And what
Barry wanted to change a little bit of his game. He wanted to play him a little more quicker. He add some perimeter shooting. It's also some of the feedback he got from the NBA scouts. But in order to do that, he had to drop some weight. So since he left Stanford, he was
you on these trips before. Are you new to being Utah boosters. And the lady responded, well, actually, Coach, no. We live in Salt Lake City, but we're Kentucky fans, and we couldn't pass up the trip to fly on the charter to go to Lexington to watch our Cats.
He is extremely long, and he sees the play, one pass ahead, like a 6-foot point guard.
It's only a sophomore, 6'11". Mark Fox did bring some really talented players here to Georgia before he left. And you're wondering.
He can get a shot off. Under 2 minutes to go. Hero off the screen.
People are impressed with your.
I'd like to look up your record and see if I can better it.
Well, anybody could. Which way? My coaching or my street record?
Some of your records I'm never going to touch.
Well, they took advantage of the switch, big on little, had him on a string and converted. Much better post defense, too. The three-quarter denial. Nice curl. This kid really uses the bump beautifully. Nate Johnson.
He doesn't look speedy, quick, and he just kind of lulls you to sleep, and then he puts it in fifth gear and blows by you.
Well, they need some of those baskets. It can't just be dump it down to Kavion Pippen the whole game.
And just with a standstill jumper, buried it with a great follow-through.
7-point lead in the early going for the Blue Devils.
Cam Reddish on Tyler Hero. That length can bother Hero's shot. Hero is the best shooter in this game. The question is, can he get open shots?
He led Kentucky in both scoring and three-point percentage on their tour to the Bahamas.
Almost 50% from out there.
Well, he has had some special season for the Mendy.
They definitely needed that last shot. Here's Hero. He'll try it again, this time short range.
Big man on the roll.
Great job. Oh, a little quick freeze three. Woo, that would have brought the house down.
Montgomery has the board. Higgins pushes.
Well, they push, but they always make good decisions.
Hero pulls up and hits. Tough one.
And it looks like that's going to get Marcus Garrett back into the game for Kansas as Bill Self will, it looks like he'll downsize again.
Garrett 1 of 9 from the field. He's done a great job defensively, but hasn't been able to get anything going on the offensive end. Just had that one drive.
There hasn't really been a second option, as you mentioned, offensively for Kansas most of the night. Shot clock running down. Higgins. Wow.
Starting now. And on that last possession, R.J. Barrett was being guarded by Ashton Higgins, who's an excellent defender, but he's not as big as Barrett. And find the matchup you like and go to it. Good job by Jack White of making Harrell catch it way beyond where he wanted to.
Travis has to give it up. Higgins baseline needs some help. Johnson with a floater.
You know, last time Kentucky brought the double team to get out of his hands. That time they give him one-on-one to Reed Travis, and Pippen's just been going to work.
This might be a mid-major program, but Kavion Pippen could play in any conference in America. He is a skilled, tough, athletic big. Nice shot.
Jump on the ball screen. It works.
Higgins a little short. The tip out. Hero comes free. Fresh shot clock for the Wildcats.
And anytime you run that little high five, that center with the ball screen, you are prone to a run and jump.
Travis gets a touch, cross courts it. Hero wide open triple. Got it.
And that's because
Nembhard got tied up with Travis, lost him, and finally pulled down by Kentucky.
If I'm Kentucky, I don't get into a set. They have not been good in sets. They've been good keeping the ball popping. Should go inside here.
Travis kicked Hayes away.
Layup maybe threw it to Travis.
Hero went back to the corner. Travis puts it in.
And Travis
Tonight, And him making some shots, even though that's not necessarily running the team, so to speak, it gives you confidence, and you're not so concerned about yourself, and you can help facilitate. So see if that can carry over to the next game with quickly running the show at point.
Travis just
with Miles Powell in his role, and he kind of just stuck with it, and now as a junior, this is his team. So he stepped up in a big way. I think they need more of his leadership more than scoring as they kind of continue to fight through their offensive goals.
And Reed Travis.
Florida's gone quiet. Baseline runner action last 2 times down with Hero running off Travis and running off of Washington. Here it is again. They did this last year with Knox. It was really effective getting it on the post.
So where's it go now?
Whichever side he comes off, they're going to try to get it to that side post. Should be right here to Washington.
There it is. Double comes. Back to the corner here. For great.
Really fit. Well, it's a powerful statement by Kentucky tonight in this building, because the building was hot and full of energy early.
Right.
And Georgia came out and punched them. They went to the paint, they punched them, and kind of had Kentucky on their heels a little bit. But boy, for about the next 32 minutes, it has been all big blue.
P.J. Washington tries to go one-on-one. He kicks it to Montgomery, and he gets
17 points after scoring only 3 in the first half. 64-62. When you can score the basketball and shoot the basketball like Miles Powell, they'll pay attention to you.
Better believe it.
Washington in the post. Across the lane, elevates.
In shouting distance, down 12 at the 5-minute mark.
It's still very unique that Georgia, to me, they're a downhill driving team when they're at their best, but it's not from their guards. It's from that 4 and 5 spot primarily, especially Hammonds and Claxton. Can they get enough of that, though, with under 5 to go in this game to get back in it?
They set Hero up for a 3. Instead, he gets it to P.J. Washington. Tough.
We were talking to Rex Chapman before this one. Boy, he is a big fan of Tyler Hero. P.J. Washington.
A rhythm right now like they had early, because they had great rhythm up there. In the first few minutes of this game, their rhythm was terrific.
Richards' big size advantage on Perry, a couple of inches. He goes with a jump hook, and he gets it to go. Wow.
How many teams would like to have?
That's 8 missed layups.
Learning how to finish amongst the bigs. Good track, too.
Then Howland switching defenses late against Kentucky. They'll back off into man.
Once again, they got the 2 on the box. The guys run the baseline, and they just try and lock low. Again, no cross screen or that little flex thing. Here's the pick and pop high.
7 to shoot.
And they 2 go with 1.
Washington shot fake. Shot clock winding down. It is a blocking foul. And
basketball.
got 4 Wildcats ready to check in at the next opportunity.
And they have not handled the ball screen at the top and dive very well. This is the baseline rubs. This kid is great without the ball. Hero, always busy. Shooting the ball much better, too. Nice hands there.
Carter got in. Now 7 to shoot. Hero uses the screen. Hero drills it with 2 hands in his face.
Charles Barkley jumps out of his seat, and that's not easy for him to do at 320.
That's not nice.
Listen to this crowd. Auburn on fire. Will they be 10-0 at home? Will Kentucky go back to Lexington with the W?
Hero for 3. Another answer by the freshman.
How big is he?
Louisville just keeps plugging. They keep hanging in there.
What a big 48 seconds this feels like, doesn't it? If Louisville can get a stop and a score.
Absolutely.
Hero drives and scoops it up.
The 2 mainstays that should get touches.
Adu, Travis, and Washington all on the floor with 4 personal fouls.
They got the bookends running. Hero and Johnson using those curls. Pretty good defense. Here they go again.
And Woodard denies Washington.
What a great job. Well, he made him catch it that far out.
And now 7 to shoot. Washington needs help. Puts it on the deck. Woodard, they dig in. Weatherspoon knocks it away. Hero draws it with 1 second.
The other night at Nashville, I had Ole Miss advantage. Terrence Davis, an outstanding player, had 2 fouls early in the first half. Didn't have a good half. Had 2 fouls early in the second half. But Terrence Davis mentally somehow hung in there and then carried Ole Miss to a win down the stretch. But the hardest thing about most athletically is they're all gifted. How do you handle when things aren't going your way?
Reed Travis steps through the jam. Well, that'll help.
Nice pass.
Say this early in the year, we've got to worry about us. Do you?
Well, and finding out how players respond. A, to adversity, because they haven't been Kentucky yet, right? People are wondering who.
On him began the day up near his collar. It's barely hanging on.
Surprised the jacket's still on. Low scoring game. Both teams getting after it on the defensive end.
Backdoor for Hero. Gives it up to the wing for Johnson. Hits a 3.
Well, those two diaper daddies.
Got Grimes' defender just to stunt a little bit, and it opened it up.
Grimes now with 13, second only on Kansas to Lawson tonight. He's got 15.
Yeah, give credit to Bill Self. He stuck with them when he was struggling. We were surprised he started the second half. And Grimes has responded, hitting some shots.
What a pass from Hero to Washington.
We say stuff to them we probably shouldn't say. We just got to learn the phrase in a different way. But when I saw you say that one time, I said, maybe it's time for me to grow up and mature.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Charles. You've had an incredible career. And what a lot of people don't know about you, you got a heart of gold, man. What you've done for the V Foundation, helping people, is unbelievable.
Well,
half. I think it's safe to say Springfield will not be wanting a copy of this tape at the end. So our producer, Ben Hogue, you can go ahead and burn that file. I don't think that's going to have to go to the Hall.
Former A&M sharpshooter DJ Hogue's cousin.
With 2 G's nonetheless.
Yeah.
Oh,
Washington for 3.
That's his second one.
Ball was not blocked. Working inside, and there's a miss, and an uncontested defensive rebound for P.J. Washington. How important the first few minutes here?
Critical. Georgia set the rules how the game's going to be played the first 3 or 4 minutes. They have to reset them now to start this second half.
There are the zeros for Johnson and Hammonds. Only 1 shot for Rayshawn Hammonds in the first half. Keldon Johnson. There's 3 on the shot clock. We're going to have to get this up. It's going to be Higgins. Big shot.
Kentucky faithful getting a little nervous here as A&M gets off to a good start.
Hero high off the window.
It's a bit of a crisis of confidence for him, but he just needs to throw himself into the game, dive on the floor, make a defensive play, get a defensive rebound, and not worry about anything. Just play to win.
Hero driving on Cunningham off the glass and good, and Hero's
jog back against Alabama. That's been proven twice now for Kentucky.
And Avery Johnson up off his seat, clapping his hands, liking the pace and the execution in the early going for the tie.
I think he likes the competitive spirit as well. His team came out ready.
9. McMahon can't get it off. Williams can shoot the 3. And a good rebound in traffic by Washington. Johnson stumbling a little bit, couldn't get the shot off. Hero can, and buries it.
These Wildcats are battling on the backboards where you would expect Kentucky to have a huge advantage and doing a good job pushing the ball down the court when they have opportunities.
Juan Green and Ashton Higgins have both checked in for Kentucky. That's Higgins. Now Hero, his first shot attempt. Dead.
Hightower at the buzzer, no good. So still scoreless here in the second half, and we're almost 4 minutes in.
This thing's getting away from Georgia. I would expect Tom Crean to try his zone defense again within the next couple of minutes. Watch out.
Yeah. To shoot when he gets the ball.
Good cut.
Somebody really did leave a door open. Donnie Tillman just missed from 2 feet. Here's Higgins. Keldon Johnson.
They had the opportunity. They better take advantage of it now, because at some point I think Kentucky's they're too good. They're going to wear down Tennessee State.
Outstanding player for Duke in the 2015 Final Four, knocks down a 3.
And hitting standstill threes is going to be an important factor for Duke this year, because so much attention will go to R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson that other players are going to get standstill threes. Straight.
Patrick Dorsey driving in. And Stokely Chafee Jr. with the bucket, first points on the board. Last time Tennessee State played in this building, they didn't score for the first 6 minutes, so already got a bucket up there.
Lots changed, man. That's a great opening game plan.
That's inside, and somebody other than Alonzo gets a bucket. Eric Hamilton, the transfer from Wichita State. Again, the 1-2-2.
For 3 years, this has been UNCG's DNA. After a score, they're going to put that three-quarter court press on you, and you have to convert.
Who runs a show out front is not a great outside shooter.
Keenan Walters off the mark. Just 32% from 3.
Spacing different than Kentucky's in. Not as good. Guys too tight in. Great move.
If you got a little spurt here in the next 2 minutes, game is on. Game is on big time. But they got to come up with some stops. Washington and Travis can be tough on the inside now with their size.
Shot clock down to 5. Manuel quickly thought about a 3. Leans in. Got it.
Nice play by Quickly.
The ball arrives, but defensively, he has been all over the place. A block, a steal, making catches more difficult. He's been the player of the game thus far.
Boy, Johnson can get.
Johnson. I thought it was tipped by Johnson, then tipped by Hayes. I thought it was a double tip.
Johnson didn't want to shoot. Great game so far at Gainesville.
Baker scores.
Well, really good by Baker.
Almost 18 points per game on the season. And both teams knocking down shots here in the early going in Louisville. Hero jump stop, soft touch, and it goes.
Missed free throws.
Chris Silva draws 7.5 fouls per 40 minutes played. That's the 8th best rate in the entire country, which means he gets points from the line and he sends your guys to the bench.
Great move.
Wow, what a left by Hero.
Great move.
To where they become second nature. Good to see Tyler Hero back into the game. Landed awkwardly on his bottom, attacking the rim. He lets it fly.
Holman sets a screen here. He's from Kentucky. Owensboro, and he steps out.
That was from Owensboro.
Yep. Told us that they were too relaxed in that game at Rupp.
I think Rex Chapman, is that his hometown? You go for the artists, I go for the athletes.
Holman led them to the Red Devils' first state title since 1980.
He wants to get into our business. Nice little hesitation and dish. Bang! Higgins, that's what's making.
Only returning starter for an A&M team that made a Sweet 16 run last year. One of 8 SEC teams that made it into the NCAA tournament. Higgins dishes, Travis dunks. They go together like Derek.
Up there for the senior who averages 18 a game. And another chance for Kentucky.
Now why are you stringing it out when you go under like that?
Travis long two, and it is
nice for a high release.
It's hard to miss the footwork for Keldon Johnson with the purple and the yellow. Reed Travis hits it deep, converts with the left. There's a
pick and roll. Higgins looks inside. Washington two-hand jam.
As you get to February, the games get very physical in league play, and we're seeing that. The officials, we've got 3 good ones here, are allowing the game to be played physically. So you cannot look for a bailout. You got to put your big boy pants on and go in that paint and finish plays such as that.
Washington hang for Okeke, and by the way, that foul called on Anthony McLemore. That's his 3rd. Bruce Pearl, at least for now, is going to leave him on the floor down by 11 as Washington leans in and hits with the left hand of Kentucky.
What was that kid's name there? Number 23?
He was pretty good. 4 to shoot. Higgins. Washington, 1 extra pass. Good up for 3. Don't leave him alone.
Behind at once.
Peters.
He got fouled, I thought. Oh, they didn't call a foul. It looked like he made contact on that angle here.
Hero is 3 for 3 from 3. They get it to P.J. Washington, the reverse layup. Gets that to go.
Just before we came on the air here at Auburn, a 1-point win against Kansas at home.
Wow, incredible win for Bob Huggins, because that's been struggle city, man. They've been playing without some key players. Canate, I think Ahmad played today.
Ahmad did play today.
Great win for Huggins, man. He needed that badly.
Higgins lobs one up, looking for Nick Richards. Back to Higgins.
Higgins got great vision. He can really...
Bucket gets them within, if they keep within 10, it'll be pretty good for the end of this half.
That would keep them within striking distance, that's for sure. Here's quickly. Cut through to Baker. Got challenged on the 3, and he made it. James.
Cunningham just clogging up the lane and paying no attention to Higgins and his ability to shoot it.
What a great pass from Washington to Montgomery. Bob Monmouth moving the basketball around, running that shot clock down, and sound a good pass inside for the easy bucket.
Johnson quickly, Hero, Travis, and P.J. Washington, the starters for Kentucky.
Game as Nebo commits his 2nd personal foul. John Calipari, after the Seton Hall loss, so this is just what we needed. Here's quickly. Got it. Big time 3.
Finally got a stop against Kentucky. If you're stagnant against an active Kentucky defense that's long, if you don't move and make hard cuts, you're going to be in for a long night.
Quickly from behind the screen.
He's allowing them to be comfortable, just pounding it.
Clary's shot off the mark. Manuel quickly. Kentucky dropped the season opener to Duke. Lost that one 118-84. Since then, 5 straight.
Make the Kentucky bigs guard out on the floor.
And in that starting lineup, that is the tallest player who just hit the 3, Josh Ferguson from Miami. P.J. Washington with the first basket for the Wildcats. Unselfish this time. Higgins, the Georgia Gatorade Player of the Year. Feeds Washington. Nice look to Travis.
Can do better.
You see T.J. Starks is the kind of player that would love to get in a shooting contest and just go mano-a-mano.
He pretty much goes mano-a-mano. Most every game you watch him play, he's going to, at some point in the game, he's going to go all by himself.
Hero.
Procedure. It helps alleviate an abnormal heartbeat. Missed a few weeks, but back under no restrictions and has been terrific, Jay, the last couple of games for Alabama.
This is a lineup for Alabama that can really stretch the floor, because you got 4 outstanding shooters to go around Dazon Ingram. And Ingram tried to drive to the basket, but with Nick Richards in there, he's a shot eraser. A lot different driving when Richards is in the ball game than when Washington and Travis are in.
Double team, and Richards.
Kentucky is as well, but that was a great cut at the other end and showing a lot of life. Weatherspoon. I just love the way they set things up. They start one way and then they get the post up. Pretty good defense moving Travis away from the box.
Hagen's off the bounce, kick to the corner. Washington spins in for three.
Basketball. That is really, really a well-taught team by Mike White.
What does that do to the offensive play?
It doesn't allow him any comfort to get the ball inside, and it gives the post defender an extra second. Split second. Now you got to score this.
Travis does.
Nobody came. One on nobody.
Johnson with the board. Kentucky has a chance to stretch out this lead. Mismatch. P.J. Washington uses muscle. And one.
He's obviously excited about his first appearance in Rupp Arena and responding.
4 points a game while he was at Georgetown. He has turned it up here in the SEC.
Best ball movement of the game by Kentucky.
Top of the post guys and using their bodies. And then the second thing, again, for Kentucky, Keldon Johnson's been blocked 3 times at the rim. You got to figure something out. Got to go in.
They do. Into Washington against Hayes, and he scores to give.
In that game, Havey doing a great job down there with the people down in Tuscaloosa.
But 6 SEC teams in the top 25. LSU comes in at 25. 6 in the top 25. Good move there. E.J. Montgomery playing a good game tonight. He's going to improve to 5-1, stay within a game of Tennessee, who will be at Vanderbilt tomorrow night.
It didn't take Rick Barnes long to rejuvenate that program down there. And I'll tell you one thing, he'll sustain it. I'm not saying being #1 all the time, but they'll be battling. They had a great signing recently, young guard.
Pick South Carolina and Frank Martin's team improves to 5-1. They ended up beating Auburn 80-77 as E.J. Montgomery knocked.
We don't need. There's a hero on the other team, Tyler Hero. Don't need one on this one. Just play. Good pass.
Johnson with a much.
Nice ball club. Hey, that was just great play by the 2 freshmen in Kentucky. What a
Hero takes it away from Brown.
What a great steal by Hero. Finishing right now, Luda scored. Kentucky going to go in a positive note in that locker room.
Hagen skips one to a wide open Hero for 3.
Hero.
Job on Weatherspoon, Quindary. He has not had touches, hasn't had opportunities. Right here, this is what I like. He can bring it up. That could have been a backcourt.
Mississippi State still doesn't have a made 3 in the game. And Kentucky's lost all 3 losses. They've given up double-digit threes.
Now you can see how much better they are on both sides. Look at the same play and the ability to finish because of strength, knowledge.
Good take by Aaron Cook off the window and in. Southern Illinois up by 7. We've seen this before, Dane, from Kentucky teams, particularly the younger ones that are still kind of finding their way this time of year. But this is a team that has 3 sophomores and a grad transfer.
Well, I think one of the things that can
It only slows down when they sit on the ball. When one guy kind of has it, tries to do too much. When they move it, maybe a couple dribbles and move it, they're better.
Ben Hallam for years has hung his hat on his defense, and I think sometimes their size limits their help side defense. Another
Washington
one.
left him wide open, and that is
15 on the elbow, rimmed it out.
Nice steal again by that
Hagen's another steal.
He's amazing. Woo. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods.
Gatorade Player of the Year in Georgia last year. That nice steal in the Gatorade. Kick out. Washington, top of the circle, got it on many spots.
Days on Ingram tired of it just being the Tevin Mack show from deep.
This is the largest lead of the game for either team. Quickly.
They're going to be more patient with quickly shooting those threes. I know he wants them to shoot the 3 ball.
Washington hits a triple.
I'll tell you, I look at this kid here.
Fouls. See what Kentucky was doing? 2-3 zone. And it's a big team now with big guards and no longer a on his shot.
Miller converts. One possession game. They're working with Tyler Hero on getting the shot off more quickly.
Yes. He has an unnecessary catch and drop of the ball before he raises it back up to shoot it. And Cal's trying to get that part out of his shot.
Travis finds Montgomery.
And giving up 2 rim shots out of his zone defense.
Hero dumps it into Travis. Mismatch with Gotch.
Technically, that could be called against the offense.
I would emphasize the nothing part of your line in that one, Bill. Straight away. You said Washington could shoot it. He has the first.
Turns the corner, puts it on the floor. So now he's got a lob. He's got a little jump hook because he's got good size. He goes 6'5", he goes to the middle. He can easily finish the play by himself.
Hagen's jumper is great. A moment ago, they get the
Auburn and Mississippi State not in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. They play each other on Saturday. There's a chance both are coming in off losses. That's a tough game with 2 ranked teams.
Mississippi State's going to have to flip the switch here.
Yeah. Clinic being put on by P.J. Washington.
This point of the year.
I found it interesting to listen to Pat Kelsey about what he told his team about the boards. When he said, hey, if you can't get the boards, then bat it around. See if you can keep it.
play for Mark Fox.
Elijah Hazekamp with the bucket. Sioux City, Iowa native out of Bishop Elam. Beautiful.
Broman on the drive. He used his body well to get to the rim. Kentucky pushing again. 13 points and 9 boards for Washington. He has the ball. And the team's on a 5-0 run out of the gates in the second. Richards, how did he get that open?
Move on.
Hero behind Travis. Wow.
It was a camera that was swinging back and forth. I do have a better view than the folks in section 230, though, so I shouldn't make a mistake like that. Hero back cut. Beautiful move.
Yep.
Ryan, a couple of individuals for Carolina. Everybody can burn you.
Just when you think you've seen enough of Keldon Johnson, all of a sudden P.J. Washington pops out next one.
Exactly. Heroes had some great looks. Look at his back. He's so good without the ball. He's so good without.
This is a time with a big lead. You can see some of that selfishness come out in players on the court. But Kentucky continuing to move the basketball, continuing to try and help one another get shots, not seeing the selfish play.
It's blocked under the basket. It's the shooter that's going to get it back, and Lawson was prepared for it and then was able to put it in with that left hand.
With Lawson always being described as a kind of, not above the rim kind of guy. How is he so good? How is he a 20 and 10 kind of guy?
He's got a great feel and just a great understanding. He anticipates really well, just got a great understanding for how to play. I mean, in practice today, he had a putback where he's not the most athletic, but he knew exactly where that ball was coming off. Great low post position by Reed Travis. I mean, he's
on the offensive end. They've been able to get any pass they want, get any open shot they've wanted to get.
Richards trying to take over.
More important for this process at Kentucky than other places because of the constant roster turnover from one year to the next.
You can't understate the difficulty it is to pick up and go each year with sometimes an entirely different starting lineup.
Tyler Hero, the new piece.
Didn't waste any time with that knockdown.
8 minutes to go in an 8-point game. Johnson, heat check. The other side. Got it.
Kentucky did not lose the NCAA title opening night, November 6th to Duke.
Partner, we got a long way to go. 5th game of the year. Here's that starting unit for the Wildcats. Hosting Winthrop, a strong team from the Big South Conference in Kentucky. And that lineup clearly has some height advantage. Tyler Hero leaves.
You know, Ben Howland, traditionally a terrific defensive coach, and not the response you'd expect from his kids. Let's see if they do a better job on ball screens. How do they handle it? Do they go under and stay at home on the dive man?
Just like Seth talked about at the half. And then the critical foul trouble with Reggie Perry on the double technical. He has 3, so Perry is on the bench to start the second half. Washington attacks his replacement.
Is that how you would draw it up?
Well, you just draw it up going in. Closest since it was 21-16 at the 10-minute mark.
Now can A&M out front keep guys in front of them? They've been getting beat off the dribble.
And that happens again.
Good defense does.
Ashton Higgins, the entry pass. Down inside. Richard turnaround with a hook.